Hello, it's Helen here with another Wednesday practice tip. Today I want to talk about long-term goals and how we can actually create a recipe for success. If you think about it, making music and learning a musical instrument is kind of like baking a cake. To start off, you need to make sure you have all the best ingredients. So to make this cake, we're going to need ingredients like good technique, appropriate articulation, an understanding of pitch and rhythm, an understanding of the style of the piece. And that's just an example. Just like if you're baking a cake, if one of these ingredients is a bit off, then it doesn't matter how great you are at cake baking, your cake isn't going to taste that nice in the end. So it's really worth taking the time to make sure that those individual ingredients are really great. So secure, so tasty. After we've ensured that we have all of the freshest and best tasting ingredients, it's time to mix them up. Now, mixing up these ingredients is like putting the whole piece together. Or it could be like learning a new piece with all of these ingredients already in place. You want to mix things up so you don't have any lumps, but you also don't want to overmix it. If you spend too much time overworking the batter, sometimes that ends up causing problems in the long run. A piece of repertoire that you spend too long on can become stale. After you've mixed it up, it's time to bake. Now here, the baking process is kind of like a bedding in process for your piece. It's a time where you consolidate everything. And here, the cake really begins to take its own shape. It can stand up on its own. So this is where you don't actually need your teacher's help so much anymore. It's really important that the baking process is the right amount of time for the cake that you are baking. If you reduce the amount of time that you're baking and you turn the heat up too high to compensate, then you might end up burning the cake. Also, if you keep taking that cake out of the oven for checking constantly, then it's going to take an incredibly long time before it's actually ready, and it might still fail. And last of all, if you don't bake the cake for long enough, it's gonna end up all squishy in the middle. So now let's assume that you've baked your cake at the right temperature for the right amount of time. Now at the moment, it's a very solid and tasty cake, but it doesn't have any personality. It doesn't have any individuality. You could say that it's not really yet a piece of art. It's time to decorate that cake with your own personal interpretation. Now, I like icing and sprinkles, but other people really like marzipan. And both of these things are allowed to coexist. Neither one is any better than the other, it's just purely a matter of taste. The amount of decorations and the type of decorations on your cake will also depend on the situation that the cake is for. For example, a cake for a big, splendid event is going to be expected to have a lot more polish. Whereas if it's just a cake that's going to be enjoyed by a few friends, a little bit more of a rustic touch is sometimes okay. No matter the cake, as long as it is delicious, beautifully presented, then you're going to enjoy the process of making it and then the process of eating it. You can have your cake and eat it too. Happy practicing.